Ladies and gentlemen, the Kids in the Room podcast. Kids in the Room podcast.
That's right. That's right.
Brought to you by Move Faces TV.
Woo! All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Kids in the Room podcast. Today we've got SF Banks on the show, and yeah, it's a pleasure to have you, man. So tell us what you do. Tell us what your specialty is. Tell us what your thing is.
Well, man, thank you so much, Tavares, for having me, bro. I appreciate it. Really excited to be on the show. And I'm all about youth development, youth motivational development. So getting kids to go after their dreams, whatever they are, regardless of, what it is that they're dealing with in life. And so we've opened up youth camps in the city of Atlanta called Camp Warrior King. We also have youth conferences that we do that were going pretty strong right before COVID. And so we've transitioned over to doing a lot of digital stuff, which includes You Can Have It All, Youth Magazine. And yeah, I mean, I'm all about whatever's developing the youth, man.
Awesome. So
yeah,
right now you said you're located in Atlanta, right?
I'm in Atlanta.
All right, cool. And so what do you guys do normally with the youth? Like, what's going on with that?
Well, I'll tell you, so with our youth camp, Camp Warrior King, it's all about exposing them to activities they normally wouldn't experience during the school year. So you're talking about, we take them hiking, we take them fishing, we teach them how to hunt, teach them how to shoot, go spelunking, tree climbing, boxing, karate, fashion, you name it, man. If it's something they're into, we're going to go do it. We take them shrimping. We go, I probably mentioned fishing already. Whatever's fun, we do with the summer camp. And then with the magazine, of course, it's about them seeing other kids doing cool things and being inspired to, with that and feeling like they can do cool things as well.
Awesome. But what is spelunk? What's
spelunking? Oh, spelunking is like caving, man. So it's like caving. So it's literally going into a cave, down deep into a cave, crawling through the holes and all that stuff, man. And it's you get real dirty doing it, but it's a lot of fun. But if you have a problem being in tight spaces, then you wouldn't like it too much.
Yeah,
because it's dark, it's damp, and it's wet. Yeah.
I think I should do that when I was a kid. I used to go down to some caves or some sewers or some shit. I don't know. Yeah. Bad kids, man. Just trying to, explore, watching too much TV. Yeah, man, that's crazy. And so you live in SF, or you were living in SF? I think you were saying something about SF. I see the big SF behind you.
So I'm originally from Seattle, and my pop, he lives out in San Jose. He's been living in California for 60 years. So I always back and forth there, and he lived in Oakland before then. And I always loved Barry Bonds and loved the Giants, and I was a big Giants fan as a kid, watching Barry Bonds and stuff. And so that's kind of where the SF came from.
Oh yeah, I see, man. Yeah, SF looks like a graveyard right now, but
yeah, it does.
have you seen that? Have you heard about that?
What, San Francisco?
Yeah, looking like a ghost town.
What happened recently?
It's just like it's not as crowded like it used to be.
I guess because I got a lot of people working from home now with everything that's changed, probably, huh?
Yeah.
And it's super expensive. So people are living in, the suburbs. How many people can actually live in San Francisco? It was overcrowded anyway. So,
Even in the whole Bay Area, though, man, it's kind of like that. Everything's overpriced. When you start going even to, even the outskirts of Oakland area, is Hayward, everywhere. It's like ridiculously expensive. It's not a place where you just can, set up shop and, buy a home.
Nah, not for, you're right. Compared to like a $300,000 house in Atlanta, it's easily, $2-3 million house out in some of the areas in the Bay Area, probably. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is, man. It is crazy because it's like, what are we doing here, man? Should we be paying for that much in a house? It's just ridiculous.
Right. Right. But I guess you want the stuff you want, right? You want to be able to enjoy like whatever amenities you can get. But you just got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. So it's pricey.
Yeah, these are the facts. And then there was also like a bunch of like, I don't know, there was a bunch of stuff that was going on. There was like, some type of riots and stuff like that towards the COVID area, towards the end. And then there was, then there was a shutdown, and then the homeless. It's a bunch of crazy stuff that kind of took advantage of the Bay Area. But I mean, I feel like it was overdue. I mean, I feel like there was
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that needed to be done for a long time. It just was not done yet.
Right.
It was just waiting for something to happen to kick in. So
Right. No, you're right about that, man. I mean, I saw last time I was there, I saw all of the tent cities, I guess they're called.
yeah,
And that was unreal to see just so many tent cities, right? Like in downtown Oakland or right, Jack London Square area, just right where, City Hall or where the jails are, or it was just crazy to see that, so many people, living in tents in the area, and so yeah, you would think that, something would have been done a long time ago. So, it's unfortunate to see a place with so much, such a large disparity of like wealth and then, poverty.
I mean, it's the disparity and the gap.
Hmm.
It never made sense because I felt like always San Francisco started lacking, I don't know, culture,
Hmm.
because once everything begins to be so, I don't know, I guess like synthetic, and everything's just so
Yeah.
pricey, it takes away the soul a little bit of the city, right?
Very true. Yep. Very true. Very true. Because the people that the community can't live there. So, the community brings the flavor, right? The people with the money don't necessarily bring flavor; they bring money. So it's just interesting.
No, you're totally right. They do bring that. I mean, I think that's what's missing from San Francisco or even the Bay Area in general. It's just kind of like it's a cool place, but it is kind of cold in certain areas where it's just like
Hmm.
people aren't like tangible, You,
Got you.
you know what I mean?
Got you.
You go out to
Yeah, I do.
places and people are just like stranger danger, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, now you can't cough too many times before people start staring at you weird. You know, I mean, man, you cough 4 or 5 times inside of a building, man, and they're gonna ask you to leave. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. It's just like people just haven't been like. I don't know. I feel like I've been to plenty of other cities in the United States, and like
Mhm.
people are a little bit more approachable versus I feel like somewhere in the Bay. I don't know if it's the phones or what, but like in the Bay Area, it seems to be like just people just like clicking with each other or hanging out in little groups, and people go
Yeah,
out with their friends and they kind of hang out with their friends when they go out, which is weird. It's like, why don't you go out and hang with other people or meet other people? Instead, you're just kind of clicking around your friends 9 times out of 10. Not everybody,
right.
but most of the people are. They kind of click.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, man. I mean, I don't know, man. It could be like the news. I mean, people are different now. Just the. I mean, I don't know what it is. People are comfortable with what they're comfortable with, but you're right. I mean, they should, meet people and, you know, get exposed to other people and other ideas, say hello. I mean, Atlanta's pretty cool when it comes to that. I mean, people are pretty social in Atlanta, real open. People are going to say hello if you walk down the street. People have strike up a conversation. So that part's really cool about Atlanta, in reference to what it is you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta is like, I mean, that's even like the Southeast. The Southeast has a little bit more approachability, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
say, hey, people acknowledge you. They'll look at you when you're walking by. People,
right,
I would say in the Bay Area, really don't fucking look at you. They're not trying to look at
right.
you. They're just like, everybody's in their own ego. Everybody's in their
Yeah,
own world. Like, oh, everybody
yeah,
thinks they're important, even if they're not. I mean, you could be making,
right.
you could be busting your ass making, $1 million or 6 figures, but
Hmm.
you walk by somebody or everybody thinks like they're equal, or
Right,
there could be a girl with
right,
no job and she's like puffing up her
right,
chest, and it's like, are you
right,
serious?
right.
You live with your mom?
Yeah, I kind of see that when I'm there. I can notice that, like they're already in the metaverse. They don't see you at all. They're in a whole different world. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see that.
they're totally not. I mean, and I'm saying even like areas in San Jose. I think that's
Hmm.
probably one of the
Yeah,
most relaxed areas. But even
yeah,
there, people act like they're in the metaverse. Just like everybody's in their own world. People are like, it's
yeah,
like, yeah, I mean, like
yeah.
you're pushing on 4, but you're acting like 20.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, hey, but check it. Think about this. Think about the fact that how many people like they don't even meet each other in real life anymore, right? Like people, we start thinking about online dating and all the social aspects. People, I think, in a lot of ways, have lost social skills, man. Like they don't know how to. Too many people don't know how to interact, right? Because I mean, you date somebody, it's like you go online to meet someone. So people really aren't as used to, well, a lot of people, I guess, or some people aren't as used to just an approach of like, hey, how you doing? Right? Everything is so technologically driven. We're in our phones all the time. We're focused on that for everything. It tells us where to go, what time to wake up, what time to go to bed, who's calling us, all of that. So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. It's a weird place. I mean, because I know,
Yeah.
like, there was like I was out the other weekend ago, and like one girl almost fell. She was pretty much falling down and drunk, and I helped her up. I was like, oh shoot, I helped her up, and then her friend's like, don't touch her. I was like, so you mean you want me to fucking tell her fall and break her fucking head in the back?
Right. Or do you want me to help her up? Right.
I'm like, this is interesting.
This
is interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, this is weird. I've never seen this in my life. Like, where does this happen?
Don't touch her.
Yeah.
Right.
And, she wasn't, nothing that was like, great, crazy or anything like that. It was a basic person, like nothing like.
You're just trying to help her out.
I was trying to help the person out. I'm like, are you serious? Like, normally you get to like, thank you.
Right.
The person that was falling down said thank you, but the friend was like, oh, don't touch her. I'm like,
don't touch her. Right.
I'm like, what do you mean touch her? Like, you mean like save her from busting her fucking head backwards? Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like,
right. Well, if you'd have done that, then she'd have said, why didn't you help her?
Right. This is what I was saying. I was stuck with it. I was like, shit. Now, and I was walking. I was like, you know what? Should I fucking help people anymore? Like, should I just let people fall? Somebody punches me in the face, just keep on walking like it doesn't, like desensitize myself like a robot? Because like, what do you expect people to do? Like, what do you want? Like, I don't know. Just like, I think it's just like phobia of social, of interaction of people that, others don't know. And people are just weird like that here. It's like, I'm like, hey man, look, let's look in the mirror. I look better than you. What are we talking here? Like, I could put a wig on, look better than you. You're acting like,
right.
Are you serious right now? Like, I'm just like,
right.
So that's what I mean about San Jose, the area, the Bay Area, like that. A lot of people are in the metaverse on that perspective, especially those with tech. But even ones outside of it, I feel like they're like that. Even around, like I said, I've seen it around San Jose, tremendously, where it's just like some people are like that. It's not all, but it's some people. And I've met other people who aren't from this area, and they've came here, and they'll I was walking one night, and one guy was like, "Oh yeah, this place fucking sucks." I was like, "Where are you from?" He was like, "I'm from Texas." I was like, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah." I was like,
yeah.
He's like, "Everybody's weird here." I was like, "I could see how you might say that. I mean, it's different. It's different. That's what I'll tell you." And,
Yeah. It's interesting. It's sometimes a challenge to find like the cool circles there, like just trying to figure out like the cool places to go, because I haven't really noticed that the people I've come across are like that they're extremely social. They do tend to be kind of standoffish, kind of cliquish, kind of over in their space, so it's like, man, what do you all do for fun? Then when you go out and see people, like you said, they don't really talk. They don't really interact. It's weird. It is.
No, it is weird. It's because I think the same things. I'm like, what do y'all like? How do you guys like communicate? How do you talk to people? Like, I could go to Southeast and I could fucking walk in the mall and I could walk up with 20 friends. Just like
exactly.
That.
Just like that. Yeah, with no problem. Just like that. But out there, it's not like that. It's interesting because it's not exactly like New York, but because New York, you can go and you can still have a conversation, right? You can still spark up a conversation with somebody. Over there, it's just they're a little more prude, I would say. It seems like. I mean, I hate to generalize a whole fucking city of people, you know what I mean? But it's just too many, I would say.
I mean, I lived here for a couple of years, so I think I can fucking say it. And I've lived all around the United States, and it's just like, you know what I mean? I mean, I call this place home right now, and it's just like I can tell the variances of each different city and area and region, and I can tell you, when you go to Southeast, it's a lot more chill, it's more relaxed, everybody's normal. Things are more, I would say, how would I say it? Things are more consciously balanced, right? Reality is balanced more, right?
Right.
A house costs fucking $200,000, looks like a $200,000 house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You approach a girl, she looks like a $200,000. No, I'm just fucking
$200,000 girl. I got you.
Doesn't look like Best Buy,
Right.
or the Dollar General.
or the
You know
Dollar
what I'm saying?
General. Right,
It's like
right, right,
it looks like what it is. The actual
right,
value seems like, there's not inflation
right,
on that ass,
right, right,
It's like
right. It makes sense.
yeah,
Right, it makes sense. Right.
yeah. When
I feel you.
I'm in the Bay, it's like honestly, I feel like there's inflation everywhere. It's just like people who
Yeah,
think they're cool, and I'm not just saying women, I'm saying men.
yeah,
I'm just trying to say, hey man, I'm just having a good time, like
right,
and it's just
yeah.
like it is odd, but like I've learned that people here tend to meet people, and talk to people and hang with people they work with.
Okay,
So they'll click to
okay,
people they work with or they went to school
okay,
with. You know what I mean?
okay. Yeah,
But not really
yeah.
new people. New people are just like, oh shit, stranger danger. I don't know
Stranger
you.
danger. Who is this guy?
Who are you? Who are you?
Right.
Like I don't know if they have a lot of creeps around here growing
I
up.
was about to say that might be it.
So
Yeah.
it's like maybe the creep squad, they feel like everybody's creep squad number one. And so like they think that
Creep squad.
everybody is like that. Or something I used to sit there and say too is I call it San Jose. I say man Jose because there's like nothing but dudes everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey man, that's another thing. You're right. Yeah, it's a shortage. It's a shortage of females out there. Seems
Yeah.
like I don't see them. It's like, where are they? Yeah.
No, I think that's what it is. I think the dudes, I think there's not that many females here or women or whatever you want to call it. And what happens is the dudes just start like harassing them so much because there's not many. And so they just think that every dude's just trying to like hang out with them and be cool with them like that or trying to check them out. It's like, bro, you're not even like that, bro. Come on, dude. Let's get the value together. I mean, I'm actually working. I'm doing something, I think,
Right.
Like, what do you,
got you.
why are you acting like that? Like, I feel like you act like that when you're Beyonce, Shakira, but not when you're working at the Dollar General. Like,
I said, not when you're a 5.
Yeah, I'm just, whatever you want to call it.
7.
Yeah, you're not. I don't want to put people in the numbers in that sense, but it's like it's reality though. Like when you act like even people have like a temperament, like they say 0 to 100, right? Real quick. So it's like in that similar conversation, it's like when you're not that great, you don't have that much going for you. And I'm not just talking about beauty. I'm talking about also your job, your school, and what you've completed and given back to the fucking world. But yet you're acting like everybody's out to hunt you, and it's like you're the prime game. I mean, I kind of bring it back to animalistic structures. It's like you want to be prime real estate. That means there's a shortage of you, right?
Right. Right.
But if
there's not a shortage.
There's not a shortage of you. What the fuck are you acting like you're like it's a rarity, supply and demand? You're killing economics.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
That's what I call this game over here around here is like people just killing economics. It's like, dude, I just want to chill, man. Like what's and you can literally go test it, in actuality. You can go to another city, you can go out of the state, boom, immediately. People, total reactions, totally different. Your output, even a different country, total outputs, totally different.
Right.
Anywhere you want, hey, you want to be, hey, you want to hang out? Oh yeah, sure, man. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Oh yeah. It's easy, right? Here it's not the same freaking way. I could walk in malls here. I could talk to a couple people, but nobody's gonna hang out with you.
Yeah.
Nine times out of 10, they're not gonna be like, you're not gonna be, hey man, let's go. Oh shoot, I see you doing that. Oh yeah,
let's go have a
hang
beer
out later.
something.
Yeah, dude, let's kick it tonight. Oh yeah, okay, man. All right, bro. Yeah. And they won't hit you up or something weird. It's like it's stranger danger. Sometimes.
Now, but you are where are you? You're in more of a college town, right? I would think it would be real social where you are.
You would think, but it's really fucking not.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. When you go to San Jose, it's not that fucking social. Actually, like I said, and then when you go out of that and you start going towards the working areas, right? Then it's different, right? Because then when you start going to the working areas, it's all about where do you work, and so people are constantly meeting you based off of where you work and where what your level is within those. So that's different. But at the same time, a lot of those people are not even from here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't really from here. They're all from all different types of places, and they're just like, they come here to suck the resources up or buy a house, and push out the other people who normally live here because they can't afford to do it.
Right.
But that's pretty much what it is. But I would say overall, I mean, there's college places, there's college bars, there's things like that exist in like San Jose, in different areas around here. But they're not. I wouldn't say they're so social.
Really?
I mean, they're social in a certain way, but they're not. It's not like social like you. Okay, it's social, but it's
Not
not
like it's not
social.
Atlanta
It's not a
social.
social like the rest of the world. It's different.
Okay.
It's very
Okay.
like awkward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's awkward, you know? Like people, you know, when people want to say hey to you or talk to you, they'll literally look at you or say, or you know what I mean? But people here don't
Right.
look at other people. They look down, and if you look at them, they look over, and it's like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, people, there's like a mental game. Oh my God, is somebody looking at you? Don't look at the person that's walking by you, or they might jump or attack you or some shit. You know, and I'm not saying, and I'm not talking about any type of class variance. People aren't looking for class.
No, I got
variance.
you. No, it's funny because I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. That's why it's fun. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like, man, wait a minute.
Yeah, you could be in a suit and a tie, and somebody's like,
same thing,
wearing some, some clothes that may not look like they had much, and they're just still looking down. Like, are you serious? Like, I should be looking down. I mean, but I'm
right.
Are we serious? Like, what's going on here? It's just like, I don't know. And it's just really, I think it's like when you live most of the places in the world, you're always curious, and you're always just used to talking to people, and you're so social, and you're not an introvert, in that perspective. So you're just always out to, say hey to people, and it's like, it's different. And I'm not saying that, like, for example, you can't do that and you don't make friends here, because I've made a lot of friends here.
Yeah.
But they call me typically here an extrovert. And I'm like, actually, the thing is I don't fucking consider myself that extrovert. I think you guys are really introverted.
Right.
That's
they might be, man.
think. I think you're over introverted. Like,
they might be.
I've never even like walked up to somebody and had to buy them a beer or anything else like that any other place. When I come out here, people are looking at me like, hey, or stand next to me. And I'm like, it's just weird. It's just like weird social interactions that aren't so normal and progressive like you would have anywhere else. Like you would have in Atlanta, like you would have in New York, Connecticut, Boston, Massachusetts, wherever you want to go. It's just a different vibe. Even in Texas, man, it's fucking cool. You just sitting in a line, you're trying to get some barbecue, and you're just like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. People always hear, they always say, oh, you make friends so easily. I'm like, actually, I make friends so easily. Like, yeah, you just meet people all over the place and you have a new friend. I'm like, yeah, but, to be honest with you, not as usual as it is for me.
Yeah.
The frequency is lower. Even though I'm hyper social, it's like the frequency is lower.
A little bit different. Yeah.
It's weird. And it's just like a total divide. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. How is it in Atlanta? How it is in Atlanta? I haven't been there in a while.
Man, Atlanta is exactly the opposite. Atlanta is super social right now. I mean, you have your places, of course, but Atlanta is extremely social. I mean, it's without question a party city now, more so than any time before. I mean, I guess it always has been. It's just more on the map now than before. So you definitely can go to a bar here and meet a friend and know them for the next 5 or 10 years. I mean, it's a different kind of vibe. I mean, the people are typically very nice, as you come across. I mean, people are pretty, I mean, Atlanta's the kind of place, my experience, I mean, if somebody's having a barbecue, and you're coming through, you're gonna, they'll welcome you in for the most part. I mean, Atlanta's real cool when it comes to that and socialization and all that.
Yeah, but see, that brings me up. I think that's what it is. I think people are just like in their own fucking worlds here, and they're just like fucking fake, and everybody's out to everybody's a vampire. Everybody's out to get theirs, and so it's just like it. Maybe that affects like the behavior or the attitude.
Sure, it does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure it does. It affects of course. I mean, if anybody who thinks that, if anybody who's just out to get theirs thinks everybody else is out to get theirs, and so then it's like it makes them afraid to interact, but when you don't feel that way, right? Like how you're a very social person, you don't feel like everybody's out to get there, so you don't mind talking and interacting with other people because you don't have that fear. But yeah, I mean, even some of the people I know out in California are very much so like that. They're very people are out to get you. You got to watch everybody, and it's like, who wants to live like that? I mean, even though I know there's truth to it, but who wants to actually live having to think of that every single day?
No, you're right. 100%. I don't like that type of lifestyle. I mean, I love California, love the Bay Area, I love all the amenities. I love some of the cultural things, the beautiful sites. Don't get me wrong, you can't fucking find those places any other place, all in one place. But like I said, if I had to change one thing, I would change a little bit of culture. And like I said, I still believe I believe a lot of the tech industry has caused this personality change of the Bay to where it's not really cultural, and you've gotten rid of a lot of the cultural people that typically brought the culture and the funk and whatever you want to call it to it, the energy to it.
Sure.
Those people don't exist much here, so it's kind of saturated, and the leftover remaining ones have been kind of programmed. And even whatever they were variant on or had their own influence on culture, even they have kind of like suffocated themselves and been kind of like submerged by the overall culture that's been here now. And it's just like, well, fuck, you're weird too. It's just like,
yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. But everybody's in their phones now. I mean, like we said, everybody's in their phones. They're looking in their phones all day long. I mean, you think about how many times you look in your phone a day and what you look at, right? So people are more interested there than they are with interact with the person. I mean, in a minute, they'll be able to interact with the person next to them through their phone, and they don't even have to look over at them, right? I mean, in a minute, it's going to be a whole different silo of interaction where I think people will be very social because now people can be who they really want to be on the inside, right? So if you said, okay, well, I want to look like this and I want to have, whatever kind of design, you can be that person in this world. I think you're going to have a whole lot of interaction because that's what it's for, So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a reflection of the fact that a lot of people don't really like themselves. Maybe it's a reflection of that, because if you like yourself, you're going to get along with other people.
That's deep. Yeah, I think so. Or maybe just people like I said, I feel like people like themselves here, or they think they like themselves. Right?
Like maybe too much.
Too much. It's like too much. It's unrealistic.
Yeah,
like I said,
too much.
Yeah, it's like, who are you? Like, it's not realistic. It's like, you're walking over to fucking, Mayweather and you're like, hey, don't look at me. Like, did you look at me? Seriously, walk off.
Right.
Are you serious? What do you do? What do you do?
Interesting.
I mean, anywhere else, people be like, oh my God, it's Mayweather, and some of these people here are like, weird, it's like, no. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm better. I got something, everybody's like, I feel like there's also there's a big layer of insecurity where everybody wants to feel like they're doing something better, than what they really are. I mean, even I know I've got a couple of friends that live around here that are, locals, obviously, live their whole life. And they're just like that. They're like, they're always telling fucking stories. It's just like, I'm just like, and they're always like, it's like, oh yeah, you drive this and, oh, well, I've got this car and I got this and I'm financially free. I'm like, you are, bro? Well, how the fuck am I picking you up?
Right. It's always one of those. I get it.
Yeah. This gave you asked me for fucking, I paid gas money. What the fuck do you mean, dude? Like,
right. You're free. Right.
You're financially free. You got houses, dude. This house is old. Like, what's good? I mean, I'm not saying that you can't be you because your house is old, but I'm like, isn't this like your dad's house? I'm confused.
You're like, wait a minute. No, I got you.
Yeah, they'll be sizing you up. There's a lot of sizing up that happens too, like within the male community. A lot of sizing up. You either have like the stoners, or who just like or like these wannabe rapper kind of people.
Okay.
In San Jose,
got them,
they're like the wannabe rapper / drug dealer.
Right.
Like
you got that right.
Yeah.
That group, right.
But I will say that in San Jose, if you have that vibe that I'm a rapper, I sell drugs type of vibe, people are more social towards you. I will say that. I will say that in San Jose, I've seen that more. Like in the college bars and stuff like that, you'll see that more. People are more social with like, it's kind of like
weird.
It's kind of like, oh, you ain't got a job? That's my man.
Yeah, that's my man. You don't have a job? Oh, my kind of guy. Right.
Oh, you're selling drugs? Right. Are you down with the hypey movement? It's like, that's my man, You got a real job? Or are you working tag? Oh, fuck you,
Right.
Are you trying to are you talking about a career? Oh, fuck you. Nobody wants to talk about that. Like I've had conversations with people like that, people, and they'll be like, oh yeah, so where do you work? Oh, where do you just go to school or shit like that? They'll bring up those conversations. Like, I'm like, I have a real, I guess I have a real company job. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I guess so. I do things. And they're like, oh,
well, if you're happy.
Yeah, but they'll walk off. They'll walk off like sometimes, like, and they'll say like, oh yeah. Like I've had people say like, oh man, you're just showing off. I'm like, showing off? What the fuck?
How are you showing
You
off?
asked me
You have a
where
job?
do I work? Well,
Right.
see, here's the thing: if the job is better than theirs,
Oh, okay. Got you.
if your job is better
Got
than
you.
theirs, your car looks better than theirs,
Right.
then they're
Then,
saying, you know, I've heard some people, oh, you're showing off, you know, oh, I don't have that.
well,
You know, it's like,
right.
are you serious, bro? That's not about showing off. You know, and
Right.
I was literally talking to another guy. I was buying like a bicycle the other day. And like literally like 2 days ago, a new bike, just some, you know, got to get that exercise out like me and you were talking earlier,
Yeah.
You know, the trail
Yeah.
mix. And, you know, a guy in the bike shop, you know, and this is a testament to kind of how the similar personalities you typically run by here. And he was like, you know, I was looking at some bikes. There were some bikes for like $1,000, 800,
Wow.
5, 10, you know. I was
Right.
like, yeah, you know, honestly, I'm just looking for just like a nice mountain bike. I'm not going to do anything
Like a
crazy.
bike.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, something that's cruising, you know. I said I'm nothing, you know,
Right.
you know, they try to pull the, you know, sales tactic, what's your budget? And I'm like,
Right.
man, you know, I'm not balling on a budget, but you know, I can buy a
Yeah.
bike whatever I need to buy if it's
Right.
for my health, but I'm not gonna buy something that's ridiculous. It's not about budget.
Right.
It's
But I'm
about,
not
do I
going to
think
spend all
it's
this money on a
ridiculous?
bike that
Do
I
I think
just
it-
want to ride.
Yeah, do I think it's ridiculous?
Yeah.
Like at a certain
Yeah.
point, comfort's up to a certain point of a level, especially as a
Right.
bike.
Of course. Right.
So anyways,
Right. Like I'm not going to spend all this money on a bike and I'm just riding for recreation and I'm just riding. I got you.
exactly. And, you know, they're trying to upsell. Anyhow, so I'm talking to the guy and he's just like, you know, he starts talking about, you know, about like how some people are vain and, you know, they want to just, you know, their people aren't really happy, you know, because, you know, we start talking about podcasts and I was like, yeah, I have a podcast. He was like, yeah. So, you know how some people are like vain and they just do things, you know, and they're not really happy. They're just doing it because they want to make other people happy and they're buying nice things to make themselves feel happy. And I was like, you know what? You are right. Excuse me. But not everybody buys nice things because they want to make them, you know, they want to make other people feel happy or they want to show it off to other people. I said, you know, I kind of used to think that when I was like a little bit more in youth and ignorant and selfish, and I wasn't thinking holistically about why people did those things. I always thought like when you brought like nice cars, you bought a Mercedes or, you know, BMW, things like that, you're doing it to show off. You know, I used to think those same simple things too, but until, you know, and I used to always buy the cheapest car I possibly could buy because I didn't really care. I was like, I don't care about cars. You know, I thought it was something to be proud of. I don't care about material things. And then I got a fucking, you know, then I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to fucking, you know, I drove a couple of luxury vehicles. And then I was like, fuck, you know, after a while, I was like, man,
I really like this.
This is way more fucking comfortable than any cars I've ever driven when I'm driving far. The sound system is premium. I'm not fucking changing my oil change all the time. I get my oil change done once a year.
Right.
When I'm driving far, I'm not worried about breaking down.
Breaking down, most importantly.
You know, when I'm going up those little fucking hills, you know, I have my little smart car. Yeah, I did it. I had a little smart car. I didn't care. People were laughing. Oh, why are you getting out of that car? And then I don't care. I was like, dude, I don't care. I don't care about cars. Dude, I'm proud. I got my money in my bank. And I'm driving up to LA though, and I'm fucking going over a hill. Coming back from LA to the city, I mean, up to Northern California, and I'm just like, I'm like, holy shit, is this gonna break down in the middle of the night? And I'm be stuck down here, and I'm thinking my cell phone fucking signal drops.
Right.
Rocking the Sprint network, you know, no point intended. But yeah, I'm just like, you know, just like I'm like, holy shit, and there's just like a peace of mind.
Yeah.
There's a peace of mind.
It's a peace of mind. Yep. You get it because you like what it offers. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's the only reason.
Yeah. And I also thought about how many times, how many fucking times was there a problem with my car when I was driving it, or if like it said it need brake fluid in the middle of the fucking ride, or it started overheating, you know, I'm like, what the fuck? And I need to take it to the mechanic. How does that fucks up your whole ride? You want to go to Tahoe. Now you're like, oh shit, you know, can I make it to Tahoe? Let me go let me get it checked out. And these are new cars. You know,
right?
So I was just like, you know, you know, once I moved to luxury, I was like, you know, I haven't thought about those fucking things. It's just like you don't have those same issues.
Yeah. And that's why you get them.
Yeah,
you don't have those same issues.
And
of course, I mean, you know, it adds some, you know, some sex appeal, so to speak. But that comes with it. I mean, you know. But yeah, you don't have to think about that other stuff. You're absolutely right, bro.
No, you're right. It does come with, don't get me wrong, it does come with the sex appeal. But one thing that I
Yeah.
have noticed is since I've gotten a luxury
Mm-hmm.
vehicle, more people are judgmental towards you.
Okay.
Right?
How so?
Because more people are like, they're intimidated.
Okay.
They're intimidated. And it depends on
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying people who can possibly even afford it. People are, who could possibly afford it, they just feel intimidated because they're not doing that. Or they're not driving that. And
They're not doing it.
They're saying they're giving you nicknames like baller and rich.
Got you.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
yeah. Trying to make themselves feel better about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
next time somebody says that you're a baller or something like that, you should tell them thank you. Like, yeah, I appreciate that, bro. See how they respond.
Oh yeah.
Or be like, you know what? You're right.
Oh no. And I've said things like that, but sometimes like, I'll be sitting at a random place and just chilling with my buddies, and somebody like, oh yeah, people just run up and start talking to me. They do this sometimes, yeah, but not as much as it. Like I said, outside of this area, people just always run up and talk to me. But people are like, oh man, they're only talking to you because they know you have money. I was like, what? How the fuck do they know I have money? I have a fucking college T-shirt on. I have some $20 Old Navy shoes. What are we talking about here?
Right.
My fucking jacket's from Uniqlo. Fuck you. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Right.
I'm like, dude, your whole outfit costs more than mine. All that shit you're wearing, bro.
Right.
Your fucking Nikes, your Jordans cost way more than anything I'm wearing. Like,
right.
Get out of here.
$400 shoes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole another conversation as well. Just the way that the whole sneaker game has changed. Like, you can't just go online and buy a pair of sneakers anymore like you used to. Like, I mean, you can, right? But if you want, like, if you go on to like for like the Yeezys or some of the fresh Jordans you want or anything like that, it's like you got to bid on them, and it's crazy. Like they're getting ready to stop the robots from being able to bid on all the sneakers because they're buying them all up.
Oh, that's what the bot shit's about.
Yeah, that's what that's about. Yeah, which is crazy as hell. Yeah, man.
Trying to catch game.
They're like the damn robots are coming in, and as soon as like a shoe drops, I mean, we can't move faster than a robot. So then they're buying up all the sneakers. Well, then they buy up all the sneakers, and then just to resell them. So then, $150 pair of shoes, now you spend $350 for if you want them bad enough, right? When you could have spent $150 if you could have gone to the store to get them, but you can't. I was on in a draft to get a pair of the new Yeezys, the Azuras, because I just like, okay, let me just see, right? My sister was like, go on there, see if you can get on there, do the account, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know how people are spending this much money on shoes all the time. And I'm seeing like teenagers like just spend like $500, Balenciagas, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's an $800 shoe. You got on an $800 shoe and like $5 sweat shorts and like a dusty T-shirt, but you got on an $800 pair of shoes. Like, I don't know, like spread that out some kind of way. Like, how you gonna have, I don't get it, man. But yeah, the bots, are buying up all the shoes real fast. They're saying so they're gonna stop them from being able to do that.
That's crazy. But I mean, I get it though. But I'm just saying, like in general, like I wanted to go back on that, and it's like the fucking bots. But but yeah, I'm just saying, like in general, like the way that people are so judgmental. It's like you think that it's the opposite way, that if you have something, people aren't as judgmental of you, but people are more judgmental of you when you have things, or it looks like you have things or something better than them. They're more judgmental, and they'll
that's their problem.
Yeah, and they're quick to navigate to where it's if people are talking to you, people are socializing with you, it's because they think you have something.
Right.
It's not because I have a handsome face, God forbid.
Right. God forbid that. Right.
God forbid you have a nice beard, I'm like,
right.
Like it, what I'm saying? God forbid you're intelligent looking. Like, I don't know.
Right.
You look like you have something going on. None of those matter. It's just that they just saw you in your $20 shoes and they thought you were rich. That's what it was.
Right. Pretty much.
$20 Old Navy shoes, bro. I was like, fucking $20 Old Navy shoes, bitch. Like, seriously.
Yes. What's the problem?
It was comfortable and I fucking liked them. So I just kept on.
But they look clean, though.
They look hella clean.
They look clean though, bro.
Yeah.
That's it.
My friends would be like, bro, where you get those shoes from, dude? I'm gonna get some like that. I'm like, bro, these are from. I didn't even tell him. And then I let him start talking shit one day, and I was like, they're like, oh man, you're showing off. I'm like, showing off? What do you mean?
These are right, $20 Old Navy's. They're like, no, those are the $500 Gucci loafers.
Right. Like, bro, I broke it down to. I was like, what are you talking about? I said, dude, who comes to my car? Who gets in my car? When I'm walking into a bar or to a public place, who's getting in my car? Nobody's getting in my car. No, who sees my fucking car? So
nobody's getting in your car. Nobody's paying your gas. Nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't know the fuck I'm driving. You know, I mean, unless you're just saying I look like expensive, which is another thing. It has nothing to do with looks like money, right? I mean, but honestly, let's be honest. I said I got a $20 fucking Old Navy shoe. You know, I got some fucking I got some like $20 Old Navy pants. And some fucking T-shirt that I brought from, you know, some Vineyard Vine or some shit. Or it could be Old Navy. Fuck, this shirt's Old Navy. I don't give a fuck. You know?
But it's a dope shirt though. I was checking it out. I'm like, but it's dope though. And the with the van, the travel van on there. I love it.
I'm just saying, does everything have to be? Everything doesn't have to be value. It's all about what do you like? What fits for you? You know, I took fashion merchandise. You know, I was in high school, and it's about like what fits you, what that style is for you. And it's like everybody can't wear the same shit, and you got to get your own culture, your own vibe, and the style that you want to wear. But it has nothing to do about how much it costs, right? Is it comfortable? Is it comfortable? Does it look good for you? That's cool. And that's all I care about.
That's it.
Some people will try to say, oh, well, you know, your car is nice. Because it's really, that's what's bothering them.
Yeah, they're reflecting their insecurities back on you. They don't feel good about themselves, so they're putting it back on you. I mean, people tell me all the time, oh, you think you're all that, right? And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I think I'm all of that. Like, I'm supposed to only think I'm half of that, a quarter of that. Like, how do we even have this conversation? You think you're all of that? All of what? That? What is that?
You'd be like, is that the old Nickelodeon show? Like, fuck you.
Right, you know?
All that.
Like, yeah, all of that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what these people are going to do, man. But what I do know is that when I come out to California, I'm going to look you up so we can go have a beer. That's what I'm going to do.
Hell yeah. We can do all the same fucking small talk and point and laugh and people watch and just, you know, compare those variants of different areas. I love to do that shit. I'll do it with all kinds of other people, but like for people who can't see it, I don't really fuck with them like that much because I don't bring it up because they can't see it.
They can't see it.
No. Like I met this, like I said, I met this one guy one time. He was just walking. I was walking in my car and he was just, you know, some girl and him were having a conversation. They were just really loud. And she was just like, oh, you're not from the Bay. You don't know about the Bay. You don't know about the Bay. He's like, no, this fucking place is whack. It's boring. There ain't shit here. Ain't nothing going on here. And I was like, you know, and he's like yelling and she's like, no, you're not from here. So you can't say that. You can't say that. He's like, but I've been here for over 1.5 years and I work here. And I'm telling you, I've come out here and I've been to other places and this ain't it. And
he's like, this ain't it. He said, this ain't it. Yeah.
He said, I'm just here for work.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know what he's talking about.
He said, I
know what he's talking about.
Yeah. And which
that's it.
I came in, I said, hey man, you know, I was like, you know, I'm trying to help a guy coming out of another area. I've been there. But honestly, I didn't feel those things immediately when I got here. I just started hanging out and going to bars and socializing. That's when I started realizing there was this weird thing going on.
It's different.
Yeah. And there's
it's different.
And then there's also like this there's like this Asian obsession of like, you know, girls with the like the white guy thing that's like crazy out here. It's like
really?
I mean I work in tech and I've seen it a lot and I just around here you'll see like typically like it's like a white guy looking for an Asian girl specifically and vice versa.
They want to is it the what's that dude's name? We'll call it the Zuckerberg.
I think it's a Zuckerberg effect.
It's a Zuckerberg effect.
Yeah. Fucking Zuckerberg effect. It's a Zuckerberg effect, man. It's like Zuckerberg. I think he like made this model and like, I mean, honestly, if you look at mostly all the founders, a lot of these big tech companies, most of their wives are Asian.
Really?
A lot of them. I mean, fuck, Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn, his wife's Asian. Saw him at the grocery store. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You can have any girl you want.
No, we're talking about the effect. It's a Zuckerberg effect.
Right, it's a Zuckerberg effect. Or if you're just like if you're going out specifically to say, hey, look, I'm going to go look for this certain culture only.
Certain culture, right.
Exclusively. Only. That's when that shit is weird.
Yeah, that is hilarious, bro.
Especially you're not a part of it. You're not even a part of it. You didn't grow up around it, but you're specifically looking for this specific culture. You're from the mid-fucking West. You never even seen this in your life, probably. Except for on TV, most likely. And vice versa. you know?
Right.
So why is this
That is
like
hilarious?
But people be like, no, it's opposite attract. I'm like, but bro, there's fucking all kinds of people here that are opposite. It's
All
just
kinds.
there's
Yeah.
there are Indians here. There are fucking people who's Spanish speakers from Mexico and that are native to the United States. Whatever you want to call it. There's different cultures
No, you're
here.
right.
But it's
No,
not.
you're right.
They're not looking at them, and I've heard
Nah.
them say shit like that, like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for a white guy," or I've seen them,
Yeah.
or you see them, you watch some of them at some places. I've been some places. This typically happens, I say, probably in the city or more in the tech space, and you'll see them. They'll just walk over to each other, and they'll be looking around, and they're looking only at somebody with blonde hair.
Each other.
Yeah, and it's really weird. You're like, yo,
that's crazy,
and it's not everybody, but
yeah,
you just
now I got
see
you
that.
saying, yeah,
and,
hilarious, bro,
and automatically the lighter skinned guy is right. In the room, like if he says something, oh yeah, like you'll see the other guy, like, oh yeah, he knows, and it's like, no, how do you know he knows?
How do you know he knows?
How do you know he knows?
How do you know he? How do you know he knows? Come on, bro.
Just because he didn't get a suntan, so he knew.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to link up. Yeah, when I come out there, that would be great.
Yeah, it's just that kind of shit, man. I mean, it's a great place out here. Don't get me wrong; it's a lot of great, awesome people here as well.
Sure,
I've got some cool stuff, but like I said, I don't feel the energy is, like the Southeast or the rest of the United States or the fucking world. Like the energy's not there. I can go to Southeast ATL. I can probably go find like a little, $1 beer night at some random pub and have the best fucking time of my life.
Indeed, you could.
I've fucking lived out in South Carolina before, and I've lived there before, and like I could go to like little bars and fucking spend like $20, and I had the best time of my life.
Have a ball, yeah,
or not spend anything, and have
a ball,
and everybody know my name when I'm walking in and out.
Right,
just like
you're
that.
Right.
Connecticut could be doing the same thing, and so I was born. I could do the same thing there. New York, I could do the same thing there. But even though there is a variance, it's funny because when you're when you're from the northern area on the East Coast, people are like, "Oh, you're this," they'll say like you're a Yankee and shit like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they'll say like, "Oh, you have." They push these personal attributes they say to you, or like, "Oh, this person's like this because they're from this area." But really, when you come out west, and you especially come like Northern California, you see a big variance on social. Like people say, like Northern people, Northeast people in the United States are typically, they'll say like in the Southern areas, they're rude. They're rude.
Yeah, right.
And they're always just talking shit, and they're just rude, and they're loud. And some of that is somewhat true, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people are more, open to some other shit. Like you'll find a lot of people. I mean, now that's kind of changing due to social media and shit like that. People are influenced by everything, but you'll find more people that maybe who look like they only listen to hip hop, but listen to fucking Bob Marley and to fucking Jimi Hendrix and to fucking Van Halen and Nirvana, where you didn't find that shit too often towards the Southeast a couple of years ago. But in the Northeast, you could easily find it. You can find some dude who's selling drugs. Like, oh yeah, Kurt Cobain. Yeah, I know him. Nirvana. Yeah. You'll be like, what?
Yeah. You're right.
You did that shit in the Southeast about 10 years ago. They'd be like, what? Fuck you talking about? What's in Nirvana? Who that? Oh, that's for them. They'll be like, what? Like, bro, come on, open your mind. But now that's changed a little bit now, because now I don't know if it's social media or the younger generation just got more open-minded and just say it's about music, it's about everything. Because now you hear these hip-hop heads that'll come out and they'll talk about Nirvana and Kurt Cobain. They'll be from ATL and shit like that.
Right.
Like Van Halen. And you're like, what? From the South? I've never heard that shit. They never know.
Heard that shit before.
You said that before. They're like, oh, that's not my style, dude.
Yeah, a lot of them are artists. I mean, they're real artists. I was talking to a rapper a couple weeks ago, and I was just really surprised because he was a drum major. He played, trumpet, played all these instruments and did all this stuff. And I'm looking and I'm like, but bro, you look like you're fresh off the block. Like just got finished like selling some dime bags. Like you don't, right. And it's like, okay, don't judge a book by its cover. Right. But that's his whole style, right? His whole rap persona is, looks like XD boy getting all the girls, I got all the money, I got all the hoes, pop, 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 right? That's the persona. But when you talk to him, he's like, fucking real astute. You know what I mean? Like so it was wild. Yeah.
I mean, you have people like that, and that's something that I like people like that because they throw you off.
Yep.
You know, they throw you off, and I like to be thrown off. You know, I don't
Absolutely.
like to be a person where I can just sum up every fucking body in the room.
Right,
You know,
right.
and I'm pretty good doing that shit. And it's just
Right,
like,
gotcha.
you know, it bores me when I can walk in a room and sum up everybody just by, you know,
Yeah.
visually feeling their vibe and energy and looking
Sure.
at them. And it's
Sure.
just like, it's crazy. But, you know, even if you go like on some, you know, I just like going out and talking to socializing people on some regular stuff. I'm not really trying to have, you know, drama, none of this stuff. I just want to have a
Sure.
drink in my own little, have fun, smile, laugh with people, be human, right?
Right,
Humanitarian.
right.
I don't care what you look like, what background
Right.
you belong to. I just want people to have fun. I don't want any guns. I
Right.
don't want any fighting. None of that
Yeah.
shit. I just want to
Yeah.
chill, laugh, and have
Laugh,
memories,
have
bro.
a
It's
good
about
time. There you
memories.
go.
I don't want to
Right.
have fucking, you know, arguments. Like I was in LA at this record label party one time,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this guy. It was like I'm gonna say the label, but this guy, you know, he comes up to me and like, you know, this is years back, and like he comes up to me and some girl. I guess there was some girl that was standing there, and she just has long black hair. She was throwing her hair around, and she just threw her hair back on me. And I just stood there nonchalant, like I didn't do anything. I just stood there, just like, okay, you know. And she just started dancing back on me, and I was like, what the fuck, you know? And I was just like, no. Then all of a sudden, I back up, and then all of a sudden, fucking, you know, this fucking dude jumps in between like this, and I'm like, he gets in my face, and he's like this, and he's like, yeah, man, I'll knock you out. I was like, what?
Talking to my
If
girl.
you touch my girl again, I was like, are you serious, bro? Have you been like looking? Like,
Right.
what glasses
Yeah,
are you
you
looking
noticed.
at? I was standing here. She's backing up into me. I'm just standing
Right.
here. There's nowhere to fucking go. This room is fucking packed. Right? It's a
Right.
record label fucking thing. It's an event to socialize and meet and network for only people who are supposed to be doing stuff. And she's
Right.
like grinding and throwing her hair back. I'm just standing there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm backing up even. And now you're going
Right.
to jump in my face. I'm like, why am I touching your girl? Are you serious? And, you know,
Right.
I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, I can beat this guy's ass. But, you
Yeah.
know, I'm a man who's smart, and I've grown up in inner cities, in small towns, and, you know, I've lived in the Southeast. I lived all around the United States, and I've lived around all the worlds and things like that, and in countries and shit like that. So I just know I'm really observant to surroundings. And when you've lived in areas where you see crazy shit and you've seen normal shit, it doesn't matter. Because in the South, you can see some shit that just pops off if you go to the wrong neighborhood, but it's different.
Right.
You go to the North, it's inner city, so there's just like this constant, you know, somebody might fucking hit you in the head with a hammer, and, you know, or a gun. You don't know what. They don't care there, you know. So I was just like, you know, you're always on rise. You know, maybe there might be some shoes up on a fucking, you know, electric pole, something. You know these signs, but you know, I'm looking around like, hey man, you know, who the fuck's with this guy? You know, and what does he got? I'm not automatically just gonna like just push this guy back. I just like I don't trust anybody who just jumps in front of your face and they don't know you,
Right?
Because you don't know. You don't know if this person knows judo. You
Right?
know? I might know Mexican. I might know Mexican judo. You don't know what I got. You know.
Oh God!
You don't know if I got a gun, right?
Right.
Hey, I love that joke. It's just real. You don't know. Like, don't run up on somebody like that. You don't know.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, I'm suspicious of somebody who's that crazy. I'm like, either you're fucking crazy. No, you're not brave. You're just fucking crazy.
Just crazy, or just drunk.
Yeah, either or just drunk. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't trust people like that. You can literally walk out. That's how people. I mean, you see that in inner cities. Or in other places, time and time again, somebody walks out, jumps in somebody's face, think they were big, and the next thing, the guy who supposedly got punked comes back and like it's like, oh, you were the big guy, but now you just got popped, or you know what I'm saying?
Now you're just gone.
Yeah.
Now you're just dead.
Yeah, because we're in the times of the pussy, you know, literally what I mean. Like it's the times where, you know, you might have been the punk before, but now the punk kills. The pussy strikes back.
Oh shit, man.
Tough.
Yeah, you're right though.
Tough guys do not finish last now. It just doesn't work that way
tough
anymore.
Tough guys, they don't make it no more, man.
No, you try to be tough. These little guys out here who's not really about that life will be the first ones to kill you. So it's like you gotta walk away. You gotta walk away from these dudes because you don't know that one guy you punked. He might be, he's the guy who comes back.
He's the guy who comes back, like you say. Pussy strikes back.
It's a new movie film. Guys, don't
New
censor
movie
that.
film.
The Pussy Strikes Back by Steven Spielberg. To a new theaters near you.
Yeah, that's right though. You're right though, man. That's hilarious, bro.
I mean, you've seen it SF. You've seen
I've
it
seen it
like
all over.
in music videos. I mean, not music videos, but like movies. You've seen it countless times. You've seen it in real fucking life, probably. I mean, I've
Yeah,
heard
you
of
see
it
it all
from
the
all the
time
time.
now. I mean, you're absolutely right. That's why. I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's real funny. I mean, like you said, right, the era that we're in, that's exactly what it is.
No, before,
You know?
if somebody punked you or somebody was tougher than you, whatever it may be, you
Yeah.
took it and you walked off.
You took it and you walked off. Yeah.
You
Now,
stayed
they
away
ain't
from
taking
it.
that shit.
No, now they're just like,
Yeah.
no, the pussy strikes back. They come back with a pop.
Strikes back.
Pop, pop,
Yeah,
pop.
they're like, okay,
They're trying to kill you.
We'll deal with you. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely.
So forget that tough guy stuff. So I don't really care about
Yeah.
that. So that's why I said, for me, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of anybody who's that aggressive to come up to somebody out of nowhere they don't know.
Right.
If you don't know them, like, you better be freaking sure.
Right, and you
that this
just
person-
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like for
Absolutely
me,
right.
I was automatically like, I don't know this dude. I'm looking around. Who's with him? Like,
Right.
I'm looking
Who's
around.
with
I'm
him?
not even looking at him.
Right.
I got one
Right.
eye on him, but the other eye is like zoning all around. You know, my peripheral
Right.
is just like I'm
Right.
energizing the whole room, feeling eyes. You know,
Right.
I
Yeah, I
was
got
just
you.
like that. But yeah, I got out of there. I was like, yeah, I'm not fucking with that dude. I don't know that guy.
Right.
You know, you could go
That's
beat.
smart.
I'll beat his ass. Go outside. He
smart.
gets angry. Yeah,
Right.
you beat my ass in the club. What happened now? Blah, blah, blah. You know, or he wants to fight.
Right.
You know, whatever. I don't have time for that kind of crowd. But you know, it taught me something that I learned when I was in high school fighting with this one kid that I didn't want to fight. I never fought fights that I started. I've always fought
Mhm.
fights to defend myself.
Mhm.
But you know, it taught me. You know, this one kid. You know, he was fighting with me and he bit me, and I was like, "Whoa, you bit me? What the fuck is that? I thought you were a tough guy." And he's like, "There ain't no rules in fighting."
Right.
And I was like, "Shit, what the
He's
hell does
right.
that mean?" Maybe
Yeah.
I've been thinking about the English too much, or the British, just standing there, thinking stand in line and shoot.
Yeah.
And it's the civil way. There's rules, but no, he's fucking right. There's no rules of
No
fighting.
rules.
So then I
Yeah.
figured out, never fight anybody, who has nothing to lose.
Right. Right.
Never
Never.
never have a confrontation with somebody who has nothing
So
to lose.
you don't really want to deal with anybody that doesn't have anything to lose,
Point blank.
because it's because when you deal with people that don't have anything to lose, I mean, they have anything to lose and everything to gain. They're going to take that shot,
Yeah.
right? All the time. Nothing to lose with it. I mean, because in their minds, something has to be better than this, so they're trying to get out of status quo, right? So,
Or
yeah.
they just don't fucking care, right? It's like, hey,
Or they just don't
what's
care.
this gonna hurt? What's this gonna affect me? Like, I don't care. I have nothing
Right.
to live for. So when somebody has a low self-esteem and they don't think they're anything and there's nothing for their future, they're just gonna do this. I mean, you're dealing with, speaking of it, because I know we were talking about some other things, but I kind of wonder how does this affect like you as a youth member, like helping out the youth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
How does it affect me? Which part?
yeah, I mean, like, you're dealing with youth.
Right.
And there's this. What were we talking about? I had it on the tip of my tongue. I hate when I miss a point. It was so awesome. But I was gonna say something about the youth, like when we're dealing with. I don't know. I guess like when you're teaching like the youth, and you're
Mhm.
dealing with like you're trying to teach them how to about their self-esteem. That's what I was at. Their self-esteem. And when they're dealing
Right.
with people who have nothing to lose, a lot of the youth that you might be helping out might feel like they have, nothing to lose, like
Right.
they have nothing to live for. I mean, who cares
Right.
about them? Because society is cold.
Right.
How do you
What-
help motivate that type of stuff?
Or
do you? I don't know.
It depends on the kid. I mean, it's not as easy as it might seem. There's not a cure all to every single kid, because kind of what happens with youth. You have youth who, for example, if a child is in a bad environment, there's very little that you're able to do besides help them try to get through that time that they're in that environment. Because if they're in a bad environment, you can say something nice or something encouraging, but they go right back to the environment that they're, where the gangs are or the abuse is or whatever situation they're dealing with. Then they come back to you. Well, they've been dealing with that situation for their whole life by the time they meet you. there's not just one word that's gonna magically change them. They might always remember it, but it's a process. Is I guess the best way to describe it. I mean, to help a kid that has nothing to lose or feels like they have nothing to lose to ultimately feel like they have something to lose. That is a process. Because I mean, if you get a kid and they've lost all the people that already care about them. You know what I mean? That's a process, man. To try to get them back. So
wow, that's deep. I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying is like in general is like when you're thinking. I mean, you're helping out students because this resonates with me too as well because I had a relative who actually reached out to me and said, hey, they wanted to do be a psychologist and they want to help out underrepresented communities who didn't feel like they had these chances and and I was like I agree. I think you should do it. It's awesome, but make sure you're understanding what you're stepping into and that you have to understand that you can't help everybody. And you have to be able to take losses. And if you're not that type of person, you shouldn't fuck with it.
Right.
Because
you can't help everybody.
Right. No, because there's a lot of people who just feel like you just basically said, there's a lot of people who feel like I'm a product of my environment and I got to go walk back into that. So it's hard for me to step out of the survival mode. Yeah.
And everybody don't want help. Everybody don't want help. That's the other thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody doesn't want help. They don't want to be helped. Everybody doesn't want to be helped. When you get somebody that really wants to be helped, they'll change. And it takes time. But somebody who doesn't want to be helped at all, if they're not doing the prescribed, like they don't want to be helped, or they're not capable of understanding enough to be helped. A kid that it's easier for them to steal than it is for them to go get a job. It's easier for them to keep selling drugs and they get the attention of the girls and they get the respect of the hood than it is for them to say, okay, well, no, I'm going to start a business or I'm going to go work a job so I can be able to make money so I don't go to jail. Okay, this guy, he punched me in the face. It's like, okay, well, you got beat up, but keep moving. Take the butt whooping and keep going. No, I got to go strike back because now he's dead and now you going to jail forever.
Yeah, pussy right? Back.
So it's interesting, man. But I tell you, it's work, man. It's definitely work. So we gotta link up, man.
Yeah, we definitely do, man. It's totally crazy, man. Let's definitely link up.
Okay.
And hang out and let me know when you get here and let's stay in touch. But keep on helping, the kids. I congratulate that. That's not an easy thing to help communities that don't see the same values that you might have seen, and it's hard. So I appreciate that, SF. Thank you for coming on the show.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kids in the Room podcast. Kids in the Room podcast.
That's right.
Brought to you by Move Faces TV.